Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. There today we are going to discuss the MCQs of exercise chemistry 11th chapter 7 thermochemistry. The first MCQs is if an endothermic reaction is allowed to take place very rapidly in the air, the temperature of the surrounding air remain constant, increase, decrease or remain unchanged. There in endothermic reaction heat is absorbed. This heat is taken by the system from the surrounding, hence the temperature of the surrounding air falls. So the exact answer is decreases. The temperature of the surrounding air decreases. Next MCQs is in endothermic reaction the heat content of the product is more than that of reactant. Reactant is more than that of product. Both A and B option are correct, or reactants and products are equal. There endothermic reaction happens with the absorption of heat. When the reaction is endothermic, it absorbs the heat. It means that heat content of the products become greater than those of reactant. So the exact answer is products is more than that of reactant. The heat content of the products is more than that of reactant. Calorie is equivalent to their calorie. A calorie is bigger unit of energy than joule, and 1 calorie is equal to 4.184 joules. So the exact answer is 4.184 joule. The change in heat energy of a chemical reaction at constant temperature and pressure is called enthalpy change, heat of sublimation, bond energy or internal energy change. There whenever a change of heat energy take place at constant temperature and pressure, it is called enthalpy change of reaction. The change in heat energy of a chemical reaction at constant temperature and pressure is called enthalpy change. Which of the following statement is contrary to the first law of thermodynamics? Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. One form of energy can be transferred into an equivalent amount of other kinds of energy. In an adiabatic process, the work done is independent of its path. Continuous production of mechanical work without supplying an equivalent amount of heat is possible. There, first law of thermodynamics tells us the equivalence of heat and work. According to first law of thermodynamics, the amount of heat supplied is converted to an equivalent amount of work, and if the quantity of work done is smaller, then the rest of the heat supplied is converted into internal energy of the system. Hence, it is not possible to get continuous mechanical work without supplying an equivalent amount of heat. So the exact answer is continuous production of mechanical work without supplying an equivalent amount of heat is possible. For a given process, the heat change at a constant pressure and a constant volume are related to each other as there. हमने इनमें से बताना है कौन सा रिलेशन करेक्ट है. तो प्यारे दोस्तों, this is one of the application of first law of thermodynamics. The amount of heat supplied to the system at constant pressure is always greater than amount of heat supplied at constant volume. When the process happens at constant pressure, then the expansion take place and pressure volume work has to be done. So the QP is greater than QV. So we can say that heat change at constant pressure is greater than heat change at constant volume. So the exact answer is C. For the reaction NaOH, when react with HCl, then NaCl and water is formed, the change in enthalpy is called heat of reaction, heat of formation, heat of neutralization or heat of combustion. There the given reaction is an acid base reaction and they are neutralizing each other. The amount of heat evolved is called heat of neutralization. So the exact answer is heat of neutralization. The net heat change in a chemical reaction is same where it is brought about in two or more different ways in one or several steps. It is known as Henry's law, Chau's principle, Hess's law or law of conservation of energy. There, according to the Hess's law of heat summation, the net heat change in a chemical reaction remains the same whether the reaction is brought about in two or more different ways in one or several steps. So the exact answer is Hess's law. Next is enthalpy of neutralization of all strong acid and bases has the same value because neutralization lead to the formation of salt and water. Strong acid and bases are ionic substances. Acid always give rise to hydrogen ions and bases always furnish hydroxyl ions. Net chemical change involve the combination of hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ions to form water. There strong acid and base completely dissociate in water, so hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ion are present in solution to the maximum extent. The combination of these two ions to form water is an exothermic process and 57.4 kJ per mole of energy is evolved. This quantity is true for all strong acid and bases. So the exact answer is the net chemical change involve the combination of hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ions to form water. देर आज के लिए इतना ही, इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट वीडियो में एक नए टॉपिक के साथ मिलेंगे, तब तक के लिए अल्लाह हाफिज़।